I give the floor now to the Ambassador of Brazil, Mr. Parajibe Taragon. Sir, you have the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a great pleasure for my delegation to congratulate you on having been elected to the chair of this conference. I'm sure your experience and knowledge will allow it to develop properly.
I would also like to reiterate our appreciation for the Director General's leadership and the Technical Secretariat's endeavors in carrying out the main tasks assigned to the OPCW in 2015. We should also congratulate ourselves for the many achievements of this organization in the current year. The states parties and the Technical Secretariat have made the Chemical Weapons Convention an example of success in the global structure of disarmament and non-proliferation. Its accomplishments stand no comparison with other multilateral institutions. In this regard, the failure of the 2015 NPT Review Conference comes to mind. Only last week, the Executive Council successfully cleaned the slate of the most pressing substantive issues as it took a decision with regard to 3 fact-finding missions reports. It also addressed the first confirmation of use of a Schedule I chemical by a non-state actor. We should use this momentum to collectively act in suppressing non-state actors' ability to launch chemical attacks. For this purpose, the organization's capacity should be strengthened, enabling it to deal with the risks related to these weapons that are technologically within the reach of anyone with a moderate industrial capability. Mr. Chairman, as the civil strife in the Syrian Arab Republic drags on, it becomes even more important the pursuance of the Syrian dismantlement program, since the risk of chemicals being used as weapons remains high. Therefore, we should encourage the possessor state to abide by its CWC's obligations and take all the necessary measures to prevent any use of toxic chemicals as means of warfare in its territory, a task which should also be carried out by all parties participating in the conflict and supported by those with influence on them. It is undeniable that only a political solution can pave the way for the restoration of peace and stability in the Syrian Arab Republic and put to rest the risk of chemicals being used as weapons in its territory. My delegation is encouraged by the positive outcomes of the Syrian dismantlement program. And while states parties may differ in their assessment of the precise extent to which progress has been attained, seemingly most of us can acknowledge the achievements of OPCW in completing the demolition of all but one chemical weapon production facility, finalizing the overseas destruction operations, engaging with the Syrian authorities, and coordinating with the United Nations specialized agencies. Brazil hopes that all these efforts will continue in the coming year and will be enhanced by a cooperation of all states parties. Mr. Chairman, in the intercessional period, the OPCW reached more than 91% of destruction of the stockpiles amassed before the entry into force of the Convention. It has supervised the deactivation of 4 out of 5 destruction facilities in the Russian Federation. It is ready to inspect the destruction of activities to be carried out by the United States in Pueblo. The expeditious destruction of all the declared stockpiles under an enhanced verification and reporting regime is crucial to confirm and consolidate the success of this organization. Likewise, As we get close to this important milestone, with the completion of the destruction of the largest stockpiles declared, we need to prepare to devise OPCW's long-term strategy. On that tenet, all the states parties should approach such event in a constructive manner and help the organization avoid repeating possible shortcomings. In particular, we believe in a better distribution of efforts amongst all areas specified in the Convention, including the balance between verification and international cooperation and assistance. Mr. Chairman, Brazil is committed to gradually increasing its role as a provider of cooperation. We have prepared a presentation on our experience to be shown in a side event tomorrow. 2 videos of our emergency and response trainings are scheduled to be screened. And also I would like to say that my country is considering to establish a regional center for assistance and protection. Last May, the OPCW opened its International Laboratory Training Facility. Such initiative enjoys our full support. Brazil has long participated in international inter-laboratory proficiency tests in the framework of chemical disarmament. It is our hope that the Southern Hemisphere will soon count on an accredited lab. Also, the OPCW has agreed on the establishment of the Advisory Board on Education and Outreach. As we look at the long-term strategy for this organization, we can be sure that this new consultative organ will help us move forward in reaching out a broader public and in improving awareness of the need to prevent the unethical use of chemical products. Brazilian authorities attach great importance to safeguarding the research, production, stocks, trade, and use of drugs applied to medical and veterinary purposes, which can be turned into incapacitating agents or ICAs. While noting efforts to bring scientific objectivity to the definition of ICAs, my delegation is ready to join the discussion on the risks associated with the use of this substance for law enforcement purposes. It is our understanding that only riot control agents can be safely used for law enforcement, and that such use of any other substances should be prohibited. Mr. Chairman, overall, this has been a special year for this organization. Already enjoying a near universal status, the CWC was ratified by Myanmar and Angola. Membership is growing, yet incomplete. It is noteworthy the significant absence of states located in a highly politically and militarily unstable area. There is no justification for the signatories of the Geneva Protocol not to ratify the CWC. Those who have not yet acceded to the Convention should do so without delay. At this session, we count on NGOs, representatives of chemical industry, and victims who are here today alongside governments to address the challenges of permanently ridding the world of an entire category of weapons of mass destruction. Your support and advocacy are important driving forces to complete the universalization of the CWC and to make multiple stakeholders more aware of the abhorrent nature of chemical weapons. I should like to request that this statement be included in the official records of the conference. Thank you for your attention.
Gracias, embajador.